Knowing how to solve an unknown angle prepare you to solve unknown angles in a variety of diagrams. If you followed chapter 2, lessons 1 to 3, you will have no problems with this lesson. So what are we going to do today? Now in this lesson we are going to calculate an angle without using a protractor. We will examine the steps needed to determine the unknown angle. Now in geometry, it is crucial, or actually very important, to always provide reasons for your answers. You are actually explaining that your answer is based on facts. So we start with our first problem here. Calculate the size of A. Provide a reason for your answer. We left out A, so I'll just put A in again. Over there. Right. Okay. Calculate the size of A. Provide a reason for your answer. From our previous lesson, we know already when we have a straight line and we have adjacent angles with a common vertex there, they add up to 180. Why? Because they are supplementary, because they add up to 180, and adjacent because of the reasons: common vertex, common side, and on both sides of the common side. So we start by writing it out in the form of an equation. We write it out like this: A plus 72. A plus 72 is equal to 180. Right? Reason. And we use our abbreviations to make our life easier. Adjacent supplementary angles. We are allowed to use the reason angles on a straight line also. Sometimes we have more than 2 adjacent angles on a straight line. Then we go to the next step. So A is equal, and we subtract 72 from 180. And in this case, our answer is equal to 108 degrees. And you can see this angle is more than 90. And in this case, it is A is equal to 108 degrees. Now we get to example number 2. Calculate the size of B with a reason. So what do we know about this angle here? There we see the little box. So we know immediately that this angle is 90-degree angle. So if this one is equal to 12, then that one must be equal to 90 minus 12, because they are complementary and they are adjacent. Don't forget the common vertex is M over there, and they are next to each other, and the little box show us that this pair of angles, they add up to 90. This is the correct way of writing it out. B plus 12 is equal to 90 degrees. Why? Adjacent complementary angles. You can use right angle also. B is equal to 90, and we know we must subtract that 12 from 90, and in this case B is equal to 78. Right, so we have B 78 degrees, and this is our given angle, or our known angle. Our known angle is 12 degrees, and B is equal to 78 degrees. Example number 3. Now it gets more complicated. But we can see the clue here is this little box. So this little box tells us that 40 and A, they are adjacent next to each other, and they are equal to 90 degrees. Okay, so A plus 40 is equal to 90. Why? Because they are adjacent complementary angles. We subtract the 40 from 90 and A is equal to 50. It's so much better if you solve a problem in your textbook or on a worksheet. Take out your pencil and write in the answer. So much easier to find the next unknown angle. So what I'll do now, I will write it in here that A is equal to 50 degrees. Okay, bit ugly, but we have it there. A is equal to 50. Now I want you to check. Here we have a straight line going right down like this. You see there? Straight line. There we have a common vertex. So B and A, they are on the same side. They are on the same side of the line. They are supplementary adjacent angles because they are next to each other. They share this common vertex here. Okay. And they have, actually they share this common side here. There we have a common side and they share that common vertex, so they are equal to 180. Okay, so let me just get rid of all this mess here. Right, but what we must remember is that this angle here is equal to 50 degrees. A plus B is equal to 180 because they are on this straight line. They are next to each other. They share a common vertex and they share a common side. Okay, so we write it out. B plus 50 is equal to 180. Adjacent supplementary angles, or even angles on a straight line. So B is equal, we subtract the 50 from 180, and B is equal to 130. Example number 4. Now angles marked with the same letter, they are equal. This one is B and that one's named B. So B plus B, this little box, actually tell us that the sum of these two angles must be equal to 90. So B plus B is equal to 90, and 90 is always complementary. So we write it down as adjacent complementary angles. 2B is equal to 90, so each B must be 45 degrees. Here we have an exercise. I want you to do this on your own, but I'll give you a few clues. So they say here, determine the sizes of angles marked with letters. Give a reason for all your answers. And you can use the following reasons to help you complete the exercise. So, adjacent angles on a straight line or adjacent supplementary angles, they are more or less the same. Or you can use adjacent complementary angles. And we have the answers on the last slide. So you will check here, we have a box, and that box tells us that we have a pair of complementary adjacent angles. So you will start by saying that A plus 55 is equal to 90. What is your reason? Adjacent complementary angles. And in your next step, you will subtract 55 from 90 and you'll get your answer. B, we have a straight line. We have adjacent angles. And now we know they add up to 180. Okay, and we start by saying b plus 124 is equal to 180. Reason, adjacent supplementary angles. And from there you will subtract 124 from 180 and you'll get your answer. The next one, two angles that are marked the same tell us that they are equal, and you can see the sum of that two is equal to 90. The little box tells us there, and from there you will go or you will work out your answer. The next one, D. We have a common vertex there, and this time we have three angles. But you know that this 90 plus this m plus this 47 is equal to, yes, it's equal to 180. Right? So m, and what is the reason? Supplementary adjacent. So m will be equal to 180 minus the 90 minus the 47. E. There you must work out G. You know by now that all these angles with the same vertex add up to 180. And reason, supplementary adjacent. And you follow the steps by subtracting 20 and 70 from 180 to get to your answer. F. Let us look at F. You must work out G, you must work out H, and you must work out F. Now, I'll rather start with G because we know that G and 90, they add up to 180. So I'll start with G rather. That's the best one to start with, I think. G or H. G and this 90, they are supplementary adjacent angles, and they are on the same side of this line here. So you work out G, and we say G plus 90 is equal to 180. So G is equal to 180 minus 90, and G is equal to 90. So I told you previously, take out your pencil if you are busy solving a problem in your textbook or on a worksheet. You take your pencil and you write in the answer. It's so much easier than to find the next unknown angle. So now we worked out this one is 90 degrees. Okay, 90 degrees. Here we have another straight line here. There's the common vertex. So in this case, these three angles will add up to 180. G plus F plus 54. And we only have one unknown angle here, that is F. So we will say 90 degrees plus F plus 54 is equal to 180. Why? They are adjacent supplementary angles, and you will subtract 90 and 54 from 180 to get to F. H is quite easy. There are two ways, because now you know the value of F, or you can work it from here. H plus 90 is equal to 180. So H is equal to 180 minus that 90. Reasons, still supplementary adjacent angles, and you'll get to your answer. Now, below are the answers of the exercise, but you must still write out all the steps for each problem like we have in this example. So although I only have the answer and the reason, you must follow, or you must write out step by step by step to get to the answer. Right? You start by using an equation, b plus 12 is equal to 90, and then you subtract, you get to your answer. Thanks, and I want you really to practice before you go to the next chapter. Thank you.